My name's Daniel, and I've been in law enforcement here in Texas for a little over 16 years. Long enough to know that Christmas time brings out the best, and sometimes the worst, in people. Domestic disputes spike, drunk drivers multiply, and the cold nights seem to make the darkness feel heavier. But every once in a while, you get a call that sticks with you forever. A call that makes you question everything you thought you understood about death, faith, and the thin line between the living and the departed. This happened about 3 Christmases ago, and I swear on my badge, every word of this is true. It was late Christmas Eve, around 1 a.m. The department was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels wrong. No traffic on the road, no music drifting from houses, just the hum of engine noise and the occasional gust of cold winter wind. I've been working a double shift because half the guys had taken leave to be with their families. I wasn't bitter, I volunteered. Christmas never felt the same since my divorce. Just as I pulled into a gas station for some coffee, dispatch called in. Unit 23, respond to a death notification. Next of kin address is on Willow Bend Road. Death notifications are the calls we all dread, especially on holidays. It's the worst gift you can deliver to a family on Christmas. But I didn't know this notification was going to be different, that this one would haunt me long after the season ended. The woman who died, Susan, had been involved in a fatal car wreck about 5 miles from her home. Drunk driver hit her head on. She didn't stand a chance. As I drove toward the family's property, the cold really set in. Texas cold hits different. Dry, brutal, quiet. Their driveway was long, maybe 200 yards, and lined with bare oak trees wrapped in old Christmas lights that flickered weakly, like they were dying too. About halfway up, my headlights caught movement. A woman stood just inside the property gate, arms wrapped tightly around herself. She wasn't wearing a jacket, just a long nightgown that fluttered in the wind. Her hair was thin and gray, blowing across her face. I thought she must have heard the engine, but before I even rolled down the window, she called out, "I heard you coming from miles away," which was odd. There were hills, trees, and farmland all around. No way she heard my engine from miles. I stepped out of my vehicle and asked, "Ma'am, do you live here?" She nodded. Her voice was soft, almost tired. "Yes, Ido." I explained that I needed to speak with her inside the home. She said she would take the walk with me because the house was a little ways up. We walked side by side, the gravel crunching under our feet, the cold biting harder with every step. She didn't speak, but I kept noticing how pale she looked and how she didn't seem bothered by the cold at all. When we reached the porch of the house, I turned to tell her thank you for walking with me. But she wasn't there. Gone. Vanished. No sound of footsteps. No door closing. Just gone. I scanned the driveway with my flashlight. Nothing. But before I could make sense of it, the front door swung open. A younger woman stood there, maybe in her late 20s, eyes red and puffy, probably woken up from sleep. "Officer, is everything okay?" I cleared my throat. "Yes, ma'am, I need to speak with you and any other adults living here." She looked confused. There shouldn't be anyone else here except me and my husband. My stomach dropped. I asked, "Was there an older woman outside just now? Maybe your neighbor? Someone who lives with you?" She shook her head. "No, no one lives with us." Her husband came into the entryway behind her, rubbing his eyes, asking what was happening. I stepped inside, suddenly feeling colder than I had outside. I told them I needed to wait for the woman I'd met, thinking maybe she wandered off. The couple exchanged confused looks. "Officer," the daughter said softly, "no one else should be here." I stepped back outside and searched the entire property, flashlights sweeping the yard, the driveway, even the tree line. Nothing. Not a single footprint in the frost except mine. I finally went back inside. The couple sat on the couch, holding hands. I've done this more times than I care to remember, but it never gets easier. "Ma'am, sir, I'm very sorry to inform you that a woman named Susan was involved in a fatal accident tonight." The daughter froze. Her husband's face collapsed. "That's my mother," she whispered. Her voice cracked as she told me her mother had moved in after her father passed earlier that year. Christmas had been especially hard on her. While they held each other, crying softly, I wandered over to the wall of family photos. I always do this. It helps me see the person beyond the badge and paperwork. One picture caught my eye immediately. A mid-aged woman, gray hair, thin face, warm smile, standing beside a Christmas tree decorated in the exact same lights I saw outside. My heart stopped. It was her, the same woman I spoke to at the gate. "She loved Christmas," the daughter said behind me. "That's her, my mom, Susan." I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. I had spoken face to face with the ghost of the woman who died, just minutes after her accident, and on Christmas Eve of all nights. As I left the house that night, the porch lights flickered behind me. The trees rustled, even though the wind was dead. I swear I felt someone watching me from the driveway. Before I got into my patrol car, I glanced one last time at the gate, the same gate where Susan had been standing. This time, the Christmas lights wrapped around the post suddenly lit up, all at once, glowing bright white. Then they slowly faded out again. I don't know what you believe. Heaven, spirits, unfinished business. I've seen enough to know that death isn't always a clean break. Sometimes, the people we lose aren't ready to let go. And that Christmas Eve, I learned that some goodbyes aren't spoken by the living.